babe, wake up. Dogpack just posted. Now, if you don't know already, Dogpack404 is the guy that is making these absolute viral and very serious insider videos against Mr.Beast. Obviously, if you're anyone from the age of like 1 to 100, I don't need to tell you who Mr.Beast is. But Dogpack worked for Mr.Beast, and again, he made these 2 very viral videos, and now he's back with his final 3rd video. Well, kinda. See, this video, while it does cover some stuff, as he's about to tell you here, it doesn't cover all the zhuzh that he initially wanted to.
This video is going to focus around one instance of SA. I wanted to put all the SA allegations into one video, part 3, final video until Jimmy responds at least. I sort of overestimated how easy that would be as far as like getting everything approved with victims and lawyers, and like also, you know, traditional media is involved. They've been DMing me, you know, New York Times, Time Magazine, also like documentary people. I don't know. You're like, hey, I've worked with Netflix and Hulu and Apple TV and Peacock. Are you interested? And I'm like, I don't know. But, you know, I think people should go to those more legitimate sources to get their stories out. So I've been referring people to other people because traditional has, you know, more resources than I do and better legal protections than I do for sure.
So like he said here, and I gotta agree with this, it's gotta be terribly difficult because as we discussed in my last MrBeast video, this is not a YouTuber. It's not a YouTuber versus YouTuber like Ethan versus that one creepy dude back in the day. No, now this is a YouTuber or a former employee trying to go after a full conglomerate. MrBeast is not just a YouTuber. MrBeast is this giant, like Walmart-sized entity now. So it is cool that he says that people should be turning to these mainstream news outlets that can, you know, have the resources and the legal teams to cover this stuff. Although I don't know why Dogpack needs to wait until MrBeast responds to release the stuff he's allowed to release. It may be because he could just respond in his 3rd video and MrBeast could, you know, have a whole team dedicated to making sure they fix whatever Dogpack said in that 3rd video. So I guess that's kind of a smart tactic if that's the reason and it's not for clout, which by all means, it doesn't seem like, you know, Dogpack is doing this for clout. I mean, the video's not monetized, and realistically, if he wanted, you know, the clout from all these videos, he would make 20 of them, like Pegasus and other commentary YouTubers are.
Okay, today I'm going to be covering MrBeast's secret CEO, James Warren, and his involvement in SA and SA cover-ups, like the one including his best friend, LaKoya Hill, who also happens to be MrBeast's secret chief operating officer, or was. And then I want to touch on the man himself, Jimmy Donaldson. MrBeast has very publicly and transparently been engaging in a massive cover-up, deleting a lot of evidence, and I think a lot of this cover-up is going sort of completely under the radar. We're not even aware of what's being swept under the rug, and they're getting away with hiding and deleting evidence. After I called out James Warren by name in my last video, his Instagram and Facebook got taken down, and his LinkedIn got taken down.
Now this is interesting because I wonder if YouTube and other, you know, social medias will be subpoenaed to find specific things that MrBeast is hiding. Again, a lot of this is like internet drama stuff, and that's not discrediting, you know, any victims of any alleged abuse or sexual assault or anything like that. But genuinely, I don't feel like any big entities as of like court cases and stuff are going to get involved unless it comes down to MrBeast trying to sue Dogpack and other people that are making videos on him like that. But there are public records showing that X video's been deleted, X video's been trimmed, you know, so if MrBeast isn't guilty, why is he cutting these things out of his videos, right?
You know, the Jake Weddle interview got posted, which was all mostly testimony. People came out corroborating a story, and then ultimately Jimmy ended up apologizing and offering him $190,000, which to me I think is most likely an admission of guilt. You know, you don't apologize for things that you didn't do.
I think surprisingly one of the biggest things in this video that's kind of not swept away but just not presented enough is that MrBeast gave Jake Weddle a lot of money, which if you don't remember, Jake Weddle was the former interviewee in Dogpack's last video that talked about his experience doing a solitary challenge. Now, exactly like Dogpack says here, why would Jimmy or MrBeast offer him all this money if you wasn't guilty. Just trying to make it right or make sure you're okay isn't a good enough excuse. So I'm not gonna lie, as much as I love Dogpack and as much as I don't want to discredit any victims of SA, I think a lot of what he's about to talk about is a nothing burger. For example, he talks about one of MrBeast's very high up CEOs and how he was previously involved in a company ran by this guy, and this guy did this Ponzi scheme thing. Like, I understand Dogpack is trying to lay the fundamentals of everything wrong with the MrBeast company, but going off on the tangent of this guy worked with this guy, and this guy who he previously worked with did shady stuff here in this other company, and that's where it gets very diluted and very messy. Again, I could see this stuff being in like a document folder where you can really, follow that tree if you wanted to, but I don't know. Me personally, I just think this takes away from the validity of the other stuff he talks about in this video. Of course, the full video will be linked in the description if you would like to watch it and decide for yourself. However, the biggest one that he kind of throws out here is LaQuoya Hill.
By 2017, LaQuoya Hill was running an adult entertainment event business in San Francisco called LaQuoya Hill Entertainment. Then in 2019, he was hired to MrBeast as a producer.
Our party evolved into this place where, you have the drag queens, the muscle daddies, the bears, the twinks, the posh boys.
Now, I'm all for personal freedoms. I believe adults should be able to do whatever they want. However, I question what qualified the sort of go-go dance drag daddy of San Francisco for a job producing YouTube content for children. It'd also be weird if MrBeast hired Johnny Sins as the janitor, I guess.
So this LaQuoya Hill guy, who weirdly enough was in the adult entertainment business, is hired, like Dogpack says, to make content for children. That's fucking weird.
In late 2021, he was allegedly fired for sexually assaulting his assistant. Now, I put fired in quotation marks because he was actually quietly moved to the dubbing company, which was Unilingo at the time. Here is proof that he used the LaQuoya at unilingo.tv email, links back to him, links to these photos, one of which was the profile picture for his YouTube channel, which also, after my first video, his YouTube channel mysteriously got deleted. And at some point, his Twitter also got deleted. I don't know if that's when he sexually assaulted his assistant. I don't know if that's after my first video got posted. Booty Call Wednesdays are canceled.
And again, I mean, it's pretty strange how Dogpack makes this video and immediately LaQuoya Hill takes down his YouTube channel and suspectedly his Twitter. Maybe it was taken down earlier, but still, the timing is a little too close for comfort there.
He was actually brought back to MrBeast in 2023 after sexually assaulting his assistant prior, and promoted to Chief Financial Officer, which is how I personally was introduced to him.
Again, I know I only put a few snippets of a few things that people accuse LaQuoya Hill of doing and talking about in those text messages. Again, video will be linked down in the description if you want to watch the full uncut thing that he posted.
People who work at MrBeast that they have to let LaQuoya Hill go. So they did what I wanted and let him go, right? Well, just on a whim, I decided to look into the Creator Global LinkedIn, and it had gone private to where everyone just shows up as a LinkedIn member, right? But I saw this, L, LinkedIn member, president of Creator Global. I thought, you know what, that's a little suspicious. So I reached out to one of my connections close to MrBeast and I said, hey, can you look into this account for me? Because sometimes if you have connections, you can see private LinkedIn accounts. And this is what they saw. LaQuoya Hill, listed as the current president at Creator Global. No work history between graduating UNC in May 2001 and becoming the president at Creator Global in 2024. Dude, this is like the 3-cup game where you gotta like keep track of the pets and races as MrBeast just moves them between companies, which I heard, MrBeast or James Warren forced Unilingo to hire LaQuoya as sort of part of their partnership without, sending them the report on his alleged sexual misconduct at the company. I also have a voice memo from James Warren showing that they told Unilingo to process a $28,000 bonus for LaQuoya, which there's definitely something suspicious going on with that.
Hey buddy, it's James. Sorry to be bothering you. I've done my absolute best not to bother you. But LaQuoya had presented a bunch of stuff to me and Jimmy a little bit ago, all really great stuff. But he had asked me and Jimmy personally, he's like, hey, can I have a $28,000 bonus for work I did in the past? And I'm like, yeah, of course, man. And the reason for that is I had brought him up to my level, and I don't take bonuses. So for like 2 years, he didn't get any bonuses when our guys were getting like crazy percentage bonuses. I need a favor. Sue cannot process this bonus through Beast. I need a solid. Can you please process a $28K bonus for LaQuoya? Let me know. Bye.
And then they used LaQuoya to try to steal Unilingo's business, poach their employees, take their clients, and then MrBeast launched Creator Global, where LaKoya Hill is currently listed as the president. So that's LaKoya Hill.
Now you really have to wonder, why realistically does MrBeast want somebody who SA'd another human being in his company that badly, where he's willing to move him around, put him in different spots, ask for bonuses just so he'll accept to go to these new spots? It's very, very strange. And I gotta give it to Dogpack, even though this video isn't maybe what we were all waiting for, it's still very like thread and pinboard, like connecting these dots for us. And it allows us as the public to see why literally MrBeast is fighting so hard for these very strange people to be in his company.
I've heard men comment on female contestants' bodies many times. Not everyone behaves this way, but no one openly speaks out against it in fear of losing their job. If you complain about any of this, you'll be shamed for being too sensitive or just ignored. You can't take anything to HR either because Jimmy's mom runs it. It's pretty common for people to essentially get paid to leave and stay quiet if they make enough noise about something.
Interesting thing I hope doesn't get swept under the rug there is saying that Jimmy's mom basically runs HR. Very strange. And you know what? That brings a huge red flag to me, is like, if Jimmy's mom actually runs HR, like this isn't like a joke or anything, then if anybody ever brings something about Jimmy, like doing something bad to HR, it's definitely going to get swept under the rug because that's his mom. Of course she'll do that for him.
So Maddie Spadell, who's MrBeast's very public ex-girlfriend of 2.5 years, posted this on her Instagram story. She doesn't mention Jimmy by name. It's sort of vague. I think probably either because she's under an NDA or maybe she's just testing the waters to see how people respond before sharing more information. But also it's like not that vague if you have reading comprehension and can read context clues. How he treats other women will ultimately be how he treats you. So how does Jimmy treat other women?
I don't really get along with women. I don't really get along with women. I don't really get along with women.
Well, women are stupid because they're inferior to men.
That when she and a group of contestants who were menstruating during the event had asked the production staff about getting their underwear more quickly, she had been told that it was not a medical emergency.
You'll never actually respect a woman, but just act like you respect them.
My God. MrBeast withheld my birth control. I have ovarian cysts. You can't just stop taking birth control.
I don't really get along with women.
Also in this podcast, Jimmy goes on to talk about his relationship with his current girlfriend, Tia, in very weird ways, in my opinion.
For us now, like, an idea of a date is just to like take an IQ test and then study and see if we can get it higher. An idea of a date is just to like take an IQ test. And then she was like, I'm an author. And I was like, fuck yeah, good. She has a hobby. And then I just DM'd her. I was like, oh, so your book, can I read it? She sent it over, read the whole book, and it was just like acting like it was the greatest book ever. I don't really get along with women.
I'll show some of the brain dead media coverage headed by Cuckstar and his news organization Drama Alert. So here's just one of his many posts about Maddie. A thread of every time MrBeast's ex-girlfriend allegedly shaded him, downplaying the clout-chasing claims against her. So let's see this extensive thread. One post of a TikTok where she says she was traumatized at 19. Why do you think that's about Jimmy, Keemstar? Allegedly complaining about MrBeast fans. This is her most popular TikTok period with over 6.5 million views and was posted last year. And then Drama Alert goes on to give one more example. And that's the end of the thread. So see her most popular TikTok seems to be alluding to her relationship with MrBeast. And then she has hundreds of more TikToks where she never even tried to recreate the success of that first TikTok, right? Like if I'm her social media manager, I'm telling her, hey, post about Jimmy Moore. And she obviously knows that if she did that, she would get more views. And yet she doesn't do it. Hundreds of TikToks, about 30 of them are about Taylor Swift, maybe 3 are about her ex-boyfriend of 2.5 years, which for a Swiftie, it's extremely low to post only 3 times about your ex-boyfriend who's now incredibly famous.
And this I can agree with. MrBeast's ex-girlfriend definitely isn't clout chasing off this like me or Pegasus or Drama Alert or a lot of these other outlets are. And I can definitely say that it's stupid people like Keemstar trying to shut her down when she's probably our best gauge of the inside of this drama and the inside of what's actually going on. Like creators such as like Keemstar and Ludwig and more that are overtly protecting MrBeast because of their connections, because they like MrBeast, I think is ridiculous. And I think if they know something and they're not coming forth with that information, then they too need to be on this same bullet list that we're tying together, because, you know, saying nothing is just as bad as lying. And as Dogpack says there, that there's a lot more that he wants to show us and tell us, but understandably it has to be hard, you know, to get through all these legal hoops and these massive companies looking at you with these hungry eyes of just waiting for you to mess up. I have nothing but respect for what Dogpeck is doing, and I personally don't think he's just doing this for clout. I don't think he's doing this for any other reason besides he sees something wrong and he's letting the public know that it's wrong. So again, make sure to subscribe when he actually posts that third video, or if anything else pops up, I'll be right here to cover it, and I'll see you guys next time.